The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it end. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster.
There, I'm gonna have to mess with my sounds a little bit. I see maybe I'm not coming in as loud as I'd like. I had a Windows update and I tried talking to these guys in Discord. Took me forever to realize that I needed to turn it on there in Discord, and now I see how low I am on this side, that it's finally working. But I needed to relink it, and I'll bring up the software and try to mess around with me a little bit, make me a little louder. But we're here at Oswego. It's points night here for the All-Star Challenge, I guess we've been calling this thing. Let's bring up the points. You guys can take a look at this here while I'm going to bring up my mic software, try to turn myself up a little bit, because we do not want me to sound this low the whole time. There are those points. I'm still looking for my end. Okay, let's see. Now that I have me, there we go. I'm probably coming through much, much louder now. In fact, I'm going to have to turn myself down a little bit. Oh, Windows updates, man. Your computer gets them when you sure as heck don't want them or need them. I was panicking, too, last night with mine. I had the black screen for a little bit. It took a while for it to update. So you see 100 grand big point lead, 60 points over Putt-Putt there, and the 51 play Christopherson. Play is here tonight. It would almost, need a win. And a Joseph Grandy last place, and I still don't know if that's enough to cover that 60-point margin. So definitely dancing with the devil there. Tonight if you're the 51. Watching Tyler Bickford and William Watson. Or no, that's Joseph Grandy, excuse me, behind him. Yeah, trading paints up, so I'm guessing that's just, that's what he's got for us tonight. No 07. 9 on that thing. There's Grandy behind. Let's see if we can find William Watson here in the 88. I had saw Marty and a couple other broadcasters talking. I wonder if, maybe they just did their Windows update before me. But, let me know what you think of it out there. I mean, obviously, I don't want to shoot down on the stuff here, but To me, it maybe doesn't look. You know, I could just be tripping here. Maybe it just doesn't look as smooth as it normally does. I don't know. There it looks better. No, it's probably just the way I have certain cameras designed. This looks okay. I thought it was too choppy at all. Right now, 9 drivers. Only 8 put in a time, as you see. Blake Christopherson has not put his name on that list here. Do have Combs is in a room, I believe. Yeah, all by himself. He's not out on the racetrack either. Oh, check out that 79. Of course, whenever I click the interview camera, I wasn't sure which one we get. There we go. Nice little overview of it. Nice little 79. I'm sure that's a throwback to somebody that, you know, a sprint car fan like me has no idea whose it is, but appreciate a good looking paint when I see it, Dino. And it's a nice looking ride there as Bicky goes around in 1 and 2. Oh, checkered flag waves. We get ready to go into qualifying. I lost track of time here. So we'll have to see who can bring home the top spot here after qualifying at the Oswego Speedway. See who's out on the racetrack first here, and I guess I mean I shouldn't offend anyone, and really I don't care if I do. But happy Easter to everyone. Stop. Should have let off with that, but the mic kind of got me rattled. As Joseph Grandy takes the 518 out of 4, coming across the stripe. What can he do here? Lap number 1. Run that slider line through 1 and 2. Probably see that change throughout the night here. Gonna hook it to the inside of 3 and 4. That may stay for a while as well. But I think we will see guys slowly start to flow up the racetrack. I don't think that's going to take as much time to see guys start going up to the top, and Grandy is the man with the top spot right now. He close P2, quicker through sector 1 and 2 the last time. Slower through 3 and 4. Where does that put the driver, the 07? Tyler Bickford going to stay right there in P2 until the Ant-Man Anthony Morano comes knocking. The 32 knocks him off that spot, and with his second and final lap, parks at P2 as Dean Reynolds parking at P5. New guy to me, the 30 of Travis. We're going to say Poulin. Maybe it's Pullen. I'm going to say Poulin. You know? And that 30 machine rolling the top through 3 and 4, coming to the line here. This is the take the green flag for lap number 1. Slide up to that outside, very similar to what Joseph Grandy did, but meanwhile you see on the bottom of the screens there, the Cobb, Brandon comes purple sector 1, purple sector 2, the 28's going to take quick time with an 18.84. What does Pullen do? Man, I swear, and there my mic cut out. I've got everything plugged in correctly. If this Windows update is gonna mess with my microphone, we're gonna have a big problem. It took me forever to figure out how to kind of get it to where I needed to. Hopefully I don't sound too loud to you guys. I'm not clipping. Be nice to know too. Let me know if my voice is a little too loud, but that should do it there for qualifying. The Cobb coming home quick time, 100 grand. Your point leader, P2, and William Watson rounding out the top 3. Not too sure if we'll get 2 heat races here or not. Clay Christopherson didn't put in a time. We'll have to see here. He is listed heat race number 1. We'll have 2 heat races. Not too sure if he's going to make the call or not. He might have thrown in the towel with Grandy having such a big lead. But we'll read him off. He's going to round out the field. Heat race number 1 in the 51. Going to start 5th. Row 2 to the outside. The 639 at Dylan Kinsey to the inside. The 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside. The 88 of William Watson. And starting on the pole, your quick time in the 28, Brandon Combs.
Man, it's lonely out there right now. See, how many guys do we have out there on the racetrack? Only 3. No Combs right now. No Christofferson. Right now you're seeing only 3 guys out there. Yeah, I know, trust me, I know nobody wants to be that person. And I promise I won't quit begging. You guys know me better than this. But that update really has me kind of frazzled. And I cannot listen to it, obviously, live like you guys can, or it'll play over. Please let me know how the sound is. Even if it's okay, just, you know, throw a thumbs up in there. That's fine. Just don't want to have that on the back of my mind here. The whole heat races. Give you guys a good show here. They deserve it. And I had a feeling we weren't going to see that 51, and it's looking like that's going to be the case. We're going to start moving here. So, yeah, no 51 for the call. 4 drivers for heat race 1, and should have 4 drivers in heat race number 2 as well. Roll around here, pace. Do a couple laps. We let the horses out of the barn here. Have to see if the 28 can wrangle his way here to another heat race win and start on the pole. Maybe Joseph Grandy, or not Joseph Grandy. I see that 8. That isn't a 518. That's a double 8. Maybe William Watson hanging out on the outside. Maybe that 32 of Anthony Morano can come knocking. As we get ready to roll around, you see that pace truck going to dive off here at Oswego. Final time into 3. As the green flag is high. Oh, it's already ready to fly. Look at it freaking out here. We're underway here at Oswego Speedway as the green flag waves. Brandon Combs hooking up in the basement downstairs through 1 and 2, big time run. I think Anthony may be the only other guy who expected that. He went down there as well. He hung it low. And Anthony Morano trying to work it to the inside here, take over P2. Boy, oh boy, I can see how sometimes, there we go, like the motor's picking up loud. See, that's going to bug me. I'm going to have to go through here and warm up, so I'll stick around with you guys like I always do. We'll have to edit some cameras. Man, Microsoft, you damned me on my sound, and I hate you guys for it. But the battle is on for second here. Anthony trying to work to the top here, see if he can inch around his teammate. Oh, no, he's cut to the bottom. Look at that, 3 wide through 1 and 2. The Ant-Man working the bottom here. William Watson on that high side, cranking it home P2. Dylan Kinsey kind of going wherever he needs to. That 639 trying to be versatile. But right now, they're all riding how they started here. First all the way, well, to 5th, even though Clay never took the grid. As we roll around here, you see Anthony with the advantage through 1 and 2. William able to pull even as they enter 3. And Anthony trying to stick it to the bottom here, trying to work it. He's got it at the line, 2 laps to go. Can he beat his teammate there? In the 88, can the 32 work to the bottom? He is trying as the white flag flies for your leader. The Cobb, you see how big that lead is, 2.6 seconds. Is Anthony Morano still working to the bottom? That's the battle for second. As we come across the line for the final time, you see the Cobb. Brandon Combs brings home P2. Anthony Morano nabbing second over his teammate in the 88, followed by Dylan Kinsey and Clay Christopherson. We take a look here, starting grid, heat race number 2, another 4 driver. Row 2 to the outside, the 79 of Dino Dean Reynolds to the inside, the 07 of Bicky Tyler Bickford. Row 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside, the 30 of Travis Pullen to the inside, the 518 of 100 grand. Your point leader, Joseph Grandy. See there, 100 grand, not very far away from a Full Throttle Motorsports All-Star Series championship. That would mean something to him. He's not even in the club, you know. He's a different team. He's on the outside looking in. But 100 grand right now, that man at the top would love to bring home another title. Just another one to add to the many. He's won a bunch over in Coast to Coast that I know of. And I mean, he's won them all over the place. So we'll have to see if Joseph Grandy can get another one done here. It's definitely looking to be that way, as we haven't seen the 51 out on the racetrack at all here yet today, but who knows? Maybe the 51 rises again here on Easter Sunday as we roll through 3 and 4. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We're underway. Good jump there for the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Absolute banger of a start. Going to pull along Bicky there as Pullen hung out, caught sleeping on the outside in that 30. He's trying to get down, shut the door on Dino. The 79 trying to work to the bottom, trying to keep that pace, keep on rolling. As I just realized, that's right. These are the limited late models. That's I figured out a lot of stuff on my camera problem right now. We'll have to load up the pro late models. They all use the same body. But Grandy there, looky after the contact going down the front stretch, being wrecked there for the point leader in the 518. And, well, not the way you wanted tonight to go, but sometimes it's not always the way you want it to go. We're down to 3 here, heat race number 2. Yeah, I should have noticed the difference there in the sounds. The limited late models here. I was calling them pros, I believe, earlier. So we are going to see a lot of guys hold that bottom, so I kind of take that back. I mean, there we're seeing the 30 of Pullen try to work the outside in 1 and 2. Not really the payoff yet. Not really reaping the rewards he would like. But he is slowly pulling in that 07. You see, I mean, pulls it away like the middle corner down the line. Pickford, you can see there from corner entry, he gained a 10th and a half. 1 and 2, I mean, obviously Pullen's getting some of it back coming off that top shelf. But with only 2 laps to go, 1 point, basically 1 1/4 seconds up the road. You got to think that 07 of Tyler Victor is going to be driving off into the sunset here in Oswego. We roll through 3 and 4, white flag almost ready to wave. There it goes. 1 more lap to play. Can Dino make the move here for second? This is really the only battle on the racetrack. Only 3 cars out there at the moment. Final time through 3 and 4. Vicky about to roll off corner exit. He sees that checkered flag. He brings it home. Followed by Dino. Gets him at the line. And Travis Pullen rounding out your top 3. 100 grand. Rounding out the rest of the field. And now here, I mute myself. We'll stick around. You're going to see some iRacing stuff. I'm going to have to change some of my camera sounds in order to fit my current, I guess, Microsoft sounds. So stick around. Got some racing coming up. 5 minutes. Grab a drink. Do what you need to do. We'll be here when you return. All right, looking at the sound meters, I think that looks a little better. I'm not really floating up in the yellow. See here. Still plenty of time, though, to mess around here, and then, well, I believe. Let's see here. I'm trying to find. There we go. Yeah, now remember, the next race, practice, well, obviously it'll start here at 5:30, but we will not roll into qualifying until 6 o'clock, so. You know, there's a chance we just kind of run a commercial or two here after this race until we get to that 5:30, 5:40 mark. But we still got plenty of race in here left to go. They're coming up into my neck of the woods, man. Lincoln. That is going to be a fun one. The Lincoln Speedway. We're going to be playing, obviously, as always, in the big block and small block modified, the driver's choice. I think that could be one of the times where actually, you know, drivers do decide to go into the small block. It's a shock, but these guys know a little better than me, so just I'll let them figure that out as the time rolls. Personally, going to step away here real quick. You see, we got about 40 seconds here till we get ready to roll with the feature. Don't go anywhere. Going to be a showdown here at the Big O. It's about that time here, almost ready to go. Let's see, can we see that checkered flag wave? Yes, we can. Warm-ups come to a close. It's the worst flag waving motion I think I've seen yet on iRacing. Can't always look that bad, does it? Let's see here. So rounding out the field, we'll give him some love. Not too sure if he's going to be here or not, but that 51 of putt-putt Clay Christopherson going to grid up P9, row 4 to the outside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy to the inside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Row 3 to the outside, the 30 of Travis Pullen to the inside, the 88 of William Watson. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 79 of Dean Reynolds to the inside, the 32, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 1 for your all-stars. Let's see what we want to call them. You can't call them modifieds. They're all everything. I mean, this is the true definition of the all-stars. They've run it all this year. They've run modifieds. They've run supers. They've run sprint cars, and now, you know, they kick it off there. They end it all tonight with the limited late models. I mean, true versatility in this series. Row 1 to the outside, the 07 of Vicky Tyler Pickford, and starting on the pole, the 28 of the Cobb, Brandon Combs. Obviously, we got 1 week left to go for the 358 and the big block modified, so make sure you still tune in next week. That's going to be their championship night. I can't remember if that's 75, possibly a 100-lap event. Either way, you know where it's going to be. It's going to be right here on ShaggyTV. We're going to have to see what the Cobb can do, man. Can Brandon Combs hold on? Can Bicky take advantage of that outside starting spot? Well, I don't know if there's really any advantage to it, as we've seen the guys take advantage of all the grip on the inside to start these heat races. I think it's really about, can Brandon Combs, can Anthony Morano hook up against that inside wall? You got to nail it when you've got the opportunity, and we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. The green flag is high, and it's ready to fly. We're underway. 30 laps to play at the Oswego Speedway. Here from third on back, still side by side. The front two have kind of split. And there we go. There's one. That's awesome. No camera 3 here for me, because those are the ones I didn't change the volume of here tonight. So we'll have to dedicate ourselves to 1 and 2. And here we go, the 32. Still working that bottom, but Travis Pullen starting 6th, up to 4th here in the early going. What can he do as he continues? Oh, to feel that pressure there, Joseph Grandy maybe gets into him a little bit, rubs him up, moves him up that hill ever so slightly. 3 wide for the lead in front. Anthony Morano got it. He gets into the inside wall. He's going to slide up. The Cobb takes the money, and he's trying to run off that top shelf. Give it to Combs. But look, oh my gosh, we're going to have to go up here. We got to watch him from far away here 1 lap. I mean, just Not a lot of power. You can see one mistake, and they're already under that blanket. Look at how close. I mean, 2, 3 wide there at the back. These guys are racing hard here. And we have 25 laps to go as Pullen, he's in the outside wall. The 30 of Travis Pullen. Able to sink it back in there, get back in onto the throttle. But he already lost 2 spots and got the 518 underneath. And man, the 51 a putt. He did show up. I didn't even notice him there in the back. Clay Christopherson. Oh, is he trying to do something for me? Is he? Oh, come on, Clay. You know I want this so bad. Get up there to the front. But he's got to work under his championship rival here is Joseph Grandy. Got that thing working here on the top shelf. Clay, where he's comfortable down low, 3 and 4. Gonna have to fall in line here. Riding kind of on the wall for Clay Christopherson. And see, I mean, he is still working. He's not going to give up down there, but Brandon Combs, he's starting to work himself loose here. There's not a lot of tension on that leash. Anthony Morano watching Brandon Combs kind of slip off here as Dylan Kinsey really feeling the pressure here from his teammate and the driver of the 518, Joseph Grandy. But Clay really applying the pressure there on the bottom, throws the slide job, had to back out, didn't want to get into his teammate there in the 639. And that allowed Grandy to step back up to the plate here and get on that outside. As Clay, can he try it one more time? Doesn't have the momentum. Gonna keep it downstairs. Looks good through 1 and 2. But Grandy looking better off that top, going down the backstretch. But man, Clay, when he hits that entry to 3 like he just did, he looks good on that bottom. And now he can do it if he wants to. There was room, but he's gonna stick it down there. Now he slides up and shuts the door. Clay Christopherson to P4. Anthony Morano still trying to go to work here. He has reeled back in, the driver of the 28. Since my little call out there saying he was letting him slip away, he's really gotten it back together. Anthony Morano trying to work it here. He's maybe, gotten a tip or 2 from that teammate behind him in the 51. As we know, the bottom's working in 1 and 2, and there he looked real good trying it. Just can't slide up to the top on corner exit, and that's where we saw Clay struggle for so long to get the pass done. We saw can get done, but it's not easy. And now we're seeing right behind there off the back of the 32, exactly what I was talking about, the 51. Trying to work that bottom, but can't float up the whole way, goes down the backstretch, and there's nothing he can do. As Clay Christopherson does finally complete the pass, coming out of 4, you see shut the door at the line. Anthony Morano looking back low here. This all with 15 laps to go. Not a lot of time. No caution flags have flown. And Anthony Morano needs it to stay green here as he continues to work. Oh, Brandon Combs gets in the outside wall. Not what you wanted to see there for the Cobb. Pretty hard hit on that right front. Maybe pushing a little bit on him now. Not too sure if it's going to handle the way he would like. But Brandon Combs getting back down to the bottom now. Probably trying to smooth it over here, get a feel, and I imagine it looks pretty good there. I mean, a little bouncy, maybe not going to be 100%, but the Cobb's going to be able definitely to try to bring this thing home. I mean, if there ever was a thought, anyways. But Brandon Combs, maybe not the competitive car he once had. Still not going to go away. Going to try to be the thorn in the side of that 32 as we roll off a 4:11 laps to go. Clay Christopherson started this thing in the back after not qualifying, not running a heat race. Has worked himself up to third. Inched closer and closer here to the top two, but hasn't been able to find that way around. As we ride off the nose here of Clay Christopherson, you can see front two, very similar lines to him until now, where we see the Cobb go up top. That's just, man, there's no pay there right now. He's just going up there last-ditch effort. It's trying to give him enough momentum to look under the 32 here in 1 and 2, which he can sniff a little bit. And he can't complete it. And, I mean, you're just going to need to combo the corners, and it's going to be so hard here for the 28. But it's looking good there. He got a good run. Was right on the deck lid of the 32. And, man, that would have been one of those times where maybe you think about it if you're Brandon Combs, but he's still stuck on the inside here through 3 and 4. The Ant-Man pushed up top, coming out of 4 side by side. Give it to the 32, but the Cobb may be in the preferred line here as he enters 1. What kind of run can he get? Not good enough. Still to the door here of the 32, but this is allowing the 51 to creep up into the picture here. And what can Putt Putt say about this limited late model party? Man, he'd love to go up there and burst the balloon. His teammate on the high side. Not a teammate, but a friend there at the 28. Brandon Combs working on the inside, and these guys doing it with 5 laps to go here at the Big O. Is Brandon Combs with a slide job. Anthony Morano cutting back down underneath. Give it to Morano at the line. He's throwing a slide job. The 51 gets in there. We're 3 wide. Oh, excuse my loud cameras, but man, I need the views here. We are 3 wide for the lead. 3 to go this time by Anthony Morano. Slide job. Brandon Combs cuts back underneath. New leader down the backstretch. Meanwhile, Putt Putt licking his lips down there on the bottom, just hoping for a little contact in front. But Brandon Combs leads the way with 2 to play at the Oswego Speedway. Anthony Morano trying to dive his way through. Looks low. Almost gets into the inside wall here. He's going to have to feather it. Putt Putt to the inside. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Brandon Combs. Can he hold him off? What's going to happen? Final time down the backstretch. 1 more time through 3 and 4. Clay Christopherson looking low, but he won't have the grip. And the Cobb gets it done. Brandon Combs brings home the checkered flag here in the limited late models at Oswego. Clay Christopherson, P2. Anthony Morano, 3rd. Grandy, 4th. Your point winner, I do believe, and Dylan Kinsey in the 639 rounding out the top 5. But man, hell of a finish. Way to cap off the all-star portion here with the Full Throttle Motorsports League. This has been a lot of fun, and man, difference in cars doesn't matter. These guys, they can, you know, some of them just have an ability that a lot of us don't have, and just proving it here, getting it done here. Congratulations to the Cobb, Brandon Combs. Going flag to flag here at Oswego. 30 laps, green flag. We're going to see if we can't get a word here with the driver of the 32, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Anthony's tending to some business. I see him in the race control room. We'll give him another second or two, but if not, we'll end up we'll interview P2 first. Do things a little different. Really, I shouldn't interview him first. No, yeah, because let's see here. Let's see how we want to do this here. Oh yeah, we'll stick to it.
Quick time!
Here, our little quick time. And Anthony Morano, man, these things, it took me a little bit to remember you guys were in the limiteds, but I noticed, a little more forgiving. And I think you could be a little heavier on those throttles. But boy, dude, that was an exciting finish, man. Talk to us about those last couple laps. I know you got what do they say, the shitty end of the stick here. But P3, man, that's still a pretty good run.
Yeah, it was actually just a lot of fun to drive. I mean, it would have been a little more fun, a little more power. Not gonna lie, it kind of a little bit doggy there, but it was we were running 3 wide out of Oswego on a limited late model for a win. That's pretty freaking cool. I don't care which way you look at it. I was definitely not expecting Clay to sneak his head in there after Clay literally just got home as we were gridding. So that was a lot of fun though. I mean, I tried holding off Cabra there and. Actually thought I stuffed him in the fence there when I got around him earlier, like that 15 or so. I went back and looked at it, he just tagged the wall. So I feel a little bit better that way. I didn't get him or nothing. So, but yeah, I was like going down a front stretch and I'm looking to my left, I see Clay, and my right, I see Cobb, and I'm like, I'm 3 wide at Oswego in a late model. That's not a good idea for anybody. So thankfully we all survived it, and it turned out to be a pretty good race there, did it right to the end.
Yeah, now obviously, Anthony, it's kind of one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't moments. But do you think maybe you made the move on Brandon a little too early? Because, I mean, obviously not everybody runs mirrors. I don't know what you guys do, but it kind of seemed like he wasn't aware how quick that bottom was. And, man, it looked like you were going to drive away, but then he got in your tire tracks, and it seemed like you learned a thing or two and was able to pull right back into you. You think maybe you should have waited a little bit, or, you kind of did what you had to do?
I think it was do what I had to do, get up to the front, and try to do what I could to make up some leeway on points here, try to catch up to Clay and Grandy. But that doesn't help when Clay gets up there and gets around me at the end. So Cobb's pretty good in these things. This is his car here, the late model. So I'm sure it's not the limited late model, but he's pretty damn good in these things. We learned a lot from him. So getting there. I don't know. It was fun. That's all that mattered to me. I mean, I had a good time with it. So, like, big shout out to Grandy for winning the championship here for this. I believe the points are correct. So if you want to look at it there, but they should be correct. But it was a pretty good season. A lot of fun. A lot of different cars. That was the whole point.
Well, yeah, man, it was a blast. You guys got to showcase your talents and all the different rods. And man, you guys did a wonderful job doing that. Congratulations on a good P3, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean Supercar, Logan Heimon Lens, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Expert Installation, ShaggyTV. Yeah, it's really cool you coming out here and doing this for us. Big shout out to DJ, Dean, Scott, and Devin for everything they did behind the scenes this season for these things. It takes the team to get the thing to go around. So everyone helped out. So we'll see. I'll get back and sit here and watch the modifieds at Lincoln. See how that goes.
Yeah, man, you guys set the bar high because I didn't mention it to you, but I did talk about it when the race was over, dude. 30 laps, green flag. So go get a drink there, Anthony. I know maybe not as much power as you'd like, but still a handful. I know you guys are feeling it after that one, but congratulations on the good run, brother. Can't wait to talk to you again.
All right, thanks a lot, Shaggy.
Anthony Morano bringing it home, P3, and now we're going to bring up the man who brought home P2 in more ways than one, Clay. It was a good season, but I believe Grandy just edged you out there. But, man, you almost ended with a checkered flag after missing everything. And if you could have started in the back, oh, my gosh, I have the perfect Easter one for somebody who can, come again from the back, but I thought you were gonna let me
Yeah,
use it.
I didn't get sitting down on my sim rig until 22 seconds left to grid, so I didn't have any practice, nothing. Um, it takes a few laps to get by a car in those things there.
Yeah, it definitely does. We saw you. I mean, you were working the bottom, but it just seemed like cars so dependent on, especially wanting to float up to that backstretch wall, that if the guy does a good job pinching you down, Clay, I mean, you almost just need to wait for him to kind of slip up on the next corner entry, and you were just having to pay your dues down there. Did it seem like the car was as fast as it was, or did it seem like you're
No.
going real slow down there?
I was coming out of the corner, it's just like no gear. But no, I was able to hold off momentum a little bit and keep the car straight. Uh, the SN wanted to come out really easy there with that much carrying that much speed on entry. So if you kicked out the car, your whole straightaway was toast. I mean, guys would just drive by you like you're standing still. So no, we kept the car mainly out of traffic. That was the biggest thing is not being like right behind somebody where you have to slow down and whatnot. But no, the car for the most part felt really good. Definitely need a little more oomph in those things, but they are limited. So
Well, I mean, you talked about not having to slow down for anybody. That was until you got to the back of this front two with about 4 or 5 to go, man, and you guys were just battling to hell out there. What's it like, man, having to crack that throttle and just try to keep it on the inside? I know you're only teammates with one of them, but man, Combs, he's a good buddy of your guys. You guys always try to race clean. How tough is that to do 3 wide in a late model here, man? Not a
oh, I
lot
was
of room.
zigzagging on straightaways to see where I could fit, and just I'd come into three way wide and shoot down. I was just trying to go, just trying anything to get a little bit of a run where I can get my rear tire in front of them, and I think I was getting there with Cobb a little bit towards the end, but I who knows? It could have been another 10 laps till I finally got by him if that's the case.
Yeah, definitely can take a while to work on it, but man, you had some speed. You look good coming up through the field, and I know you didn't want to come home P2 in either of them, the championship or the race, but man, it showed you had a great season, dude, and you really had to work for this one tonight. So savor it. Congratulations on a good one, Clay. Who you want to thank, brother?
Oh, another comment. There's nothing wrong with being the first loser.
Yeah, I've
That's
been
what
that a
happened
lot.
in second place.
Yes, yeah.
But
Sometimes I'm thankful to be the first loser. It can get rough for a long time. Sometimes you're the 12th, the 15th loser. So sometimes being the second loser is nice.
right. But no, I'd like to thank all the guys at FTM, you for broadcasting it, and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and Big Blood sets.
But hey, hell of a run, Clay. Congratulations. We gonna? Or yeah, you're the good guy to ask. I know. It's one of those tracks where you can maybe think about it. Is there a thought, at a small block at Lincoln, or is it a big block all the way
It's
track?
pretty long straightaways. I
Okay.
feel like you'd get eaten alive, and with the smaller car count, I'm probably gonna go big block because the track more than likely won't be as burnt as it would be with a full field or a long practice.
Yep. That's probably a good strategy. Maybe not getting as much cars today with it being Easter. But hey, congratulations on a good run, Clay. Look forward to talking to you again, man, here at Lincoln. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Clay Christopherson bringing home P2. And now we're going to talk to the man who brought home the checkered flag, Brandon Combs. Man, Brandon, I'll tell you, not a lot of power in these things. When Anthony got by you, dude, I wrote you off, and it just seemed like you got down there behind him. You maybe picked up a thing or two and started to hit it a little better than he did, man. And the car came alive with 10 to go. Talk to us about your race.
Yeah, I stuffed it in the fence there early in the race, like lap 1 or 2, or
Yes, you
it might have
did.
been 2 or 3, something like that.
It was lap 1
I had
right
a-
away through 1 and 2. You hit it pretty
yeah,
good.
had a little bit of wheel damage there, and I was like, "You fucking idiot!" And I had a little bit of wheel damage. I guess it's just right front damage, but the thing was twitchy as can be. Then after that, so turned my force feedback down, and then yeah, once Morano got by me on the bottom in 1 and 2, it was really just studying to see what he was doing or able to do to be able to run the bottom like he was. So I went ahead and figured it out, and yeah, I was able to get around him, use a little bit of momentum through 3 and 4 to help me down the front stretch, and able to throw a slider, surprisingly, and a limited. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, with the way you worded that, it kind of brought back to me. You know, we both know what my hobby is. These long green flag runs that can blur things for me sometimes. But dude, yeah, I'm remembering it. Well, here actually, we're watching you get in the wall. It's perfect freaking timing. So then you're gonna drive into 3 pretty deep here, and you know, were you just kind of testing the car after you got in the wall? Because man, when you drove it into 3 and 4, you almost get into the wall here again too. Like the car really tightened up on you in the center of the corner.
Yeah, a little bit, because I wasn't too sure what to really do. Like, I know it's limited, and yeah, the track was slicking it up, and it was getting a little bit racier, but I wasn't sure like what would be the right way to try to pass Morano or be able to keep up with him. But then once he got in front of me, like I said earlier, I was able to figure out what he was doing around the bottom, and I finally hit it right a couple times, a little bit better than he did, and closed in. But then I knew just moving around a little bit in 3 and 4 throughout the race beforehand, I was able to move around a little bit and be able to get some runs and stuff because it's hard in these cars when you got, oh, I don't know, 50 horsepower in them, it feels like.
Yeah,
But
yeah, driving a tractor around.
man,
But
I don't even know if we had 100 mile an hour in these things.
that's a good
We
question.
might have.
I should have
We
brought
might
up
have. I don't know.
the dashboard. I could have done that. But Brandon, you know, obviously you're sitting there P2 when Clay gets in there and starts mixing it up and you're 3 wide. Do you really feel that, or do you kind of only know from your spotter? Or could you see him in there mixing it up with you guys?
No, I actually never really saw Clay. I mean, the whole time, like, I mean, I will say, like, I have my mirror on for this race, but I wasn't too sure, like, where Clay was at all. And then I heard a spotter say 3 wide, and I was like, oh, I guess he's there. I don't know where, but because I was just too worried about looking to see, like, where Morano was going because I didn't want to run him over, but then I also didn't want to screw up and F Clay over or anything like that. So it's kind of just not really protect or defense mode, but I guess say just be easy right there for a second, but then at the same time also go and attack. So yeah, it was fun.
Well, man, you know, I know definitely not the power you guys like, but it was neat being able to see you guys mix it up in these tractors, and you put on a really good show, man. That was a great finish. Way to steal that thing back at the end. Congratulations on the big win, brother. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks, man. Had a lot more fun in this car than I thought I would, especially at Oswego. But yeah, just gotta say thanks to all the guys over at FTM for giving us a place to come race and have some fun in some different cars and stuff. I know I missed a lot of races, but it was fun. All the races I've been able to come and run. Thanks to them guys. I know it takes a lot of work and effort to get this going and keep it going and be as good as it is. But yeah, I'd like to say thanks to Dino at Super Dirt Car Series, Big Pimpin' Race Cars, DPR Performance, B&B Custom Base, GFP, 0FG, Combs Cuts, FHP Consultant, Bluegrass Motorsports Media, and thanks to all the Copper fans out there.
Well, hey, man.
Oh, thanks to you for putting this on.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, Brandon. You going to come run the next one here at Lincoln?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All righty, brother. We'll be looking forward to you seeing you there in Abbottstown. Good luck, man.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
Brandon Cobb's bringing home the win, but this guy bringing home the trophy. We made him wait long enough. Grandy, not the way you wanted your night to start there. Rough contact in the heat race. You got to come from the back, man, but you're able to bring home a P4 along with the most important thing, the championship, dude. How we feeling?
I feel good. Figure my luck had to run out eventually, so you know, why not let it be the last race?
Yeah, you know, I mean, at least it sprouted there at the end when you were done using it. But was there anything, you know, you could really do here in these late models? I mean, I see you kind of watching you now at the later point trying to power that outside. Were you pretty much dedicated to that outside, or were you working the inside at all there towards the end?
Yeah, after Clay slid up in front of Dylan there, and ended up we broke our momentum when I tapped it back at Dylan. A little bit of damage must have been the arrow or something because I felt it. But yeah, I was trying to keep my momentum up and try to cover as much ground as I could. I knew, you know, needed a caution or some of them to wreck to even try to do something there.
Now, you know, I mean, you guys may know the points a little better than me, but was there even a shot here of Clay beating you tonight with that 60-point gap? Did you Did he need to basically win this thing and you come in dead last here?
I honestly don't know. I would have had a top 10 regardless, so I don't think so. But I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Well, Joe, man, this is well earned, dude. You come into the FTM territory. You know I've been rooting for you all season. It's nice to see you come in here, man. The odd man out and take it to them here. All the different dirt things we've run this season, man. Sprint cars, UMPs. I mean, all different types of late models, and you were finishing in the top 5 constantly, dude. You deserve this well-earned championship. Congratulations, man. Who you want to thank?
All the guys over at Coast to Coast Sim Sports, what you would say Speed Shop, Catalytic Recovery, all the guys at FTM for doing this, my girlfriend Olivia, and you, man, for always putting on an awesome broadcast.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Grandy. We're rolling into Abbottstown, man. You going to be there?
Yep, I'll be there.
All right, give him hell, brother.
Thanks.
100 grand. Going to be at Lincoln, so make sure you get your butts back here. We're going to take a quick break here on Shaggy TV, and we'll be right back with, I can't think of the word for not, the race before the finale. Maybe I'll have to do some thesaurusing here in the off time, but 2 weeks to play yet in the 358 and big block modifieds. We're going to be at Lincoln here next, and then we got the championship next week. So stick around. 50 laps at the Lincoln Speedway up next. And now we have the right video. My apologies. I'm going to get this right one week.
I'm Chris Jackamick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important, but I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. I was like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. It's like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. physically I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. You know, every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So you know that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it transformed into Lo and Behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody! I am so excited. My heart's pumping, my hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña.
Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza.
From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio.
From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy.
Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle.
And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Bilardi, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jack Jackamek.
Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Woo.
What? He did big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Hedwig.
Wow. We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets. No matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other, and it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Abbottstown, Pennsylvania. Right up the road from your man here. Oh, one of the best dirt track racing. I can't say facilities, you know, but I do love that they do still have the giant trough urinal. You know, they're on the back of turn 4. I mean, you gotta love that. Maybe not the best facility, but an amazing facility. I love the Lincoln Speedway. This is a place that has been, man, near and dear to me for a long time. Never got to race here. The classes that raced here back in my day, little bit too much money for what I was running. But man, I would come here a lot and got to see a lot of good racing here. And guys like Fred Raymer, you know, when I was a little kid, Brian Monteith. It's like a name that maybe you guys wouldn't know, but he's really good around here, man. And Danny Dietrich, man, when he was younger, you know, he's older than me, but when he was, you know, a teenager, early 20s, still does run around here. And his brother Billy. His brother, he can still get it done whenever he's in good equipment. Those guys know how to drive. And, oh, man, look at that. Perfect timing. I was going to save this. But you guys hear me talk about the golf course all the time, too. I just realized you can get it in a camera. I could span it. But this is, I want to say, hole 5. The tee box would be right at the bottom of the screen. And then, you know, you're going down, I want to say that's around like 380. But the thing pretty neat about it is it doesn't do it justice here. But between the sand and the green, you can kind of see some elevation change. That is severe. You don't want to be down in that hill. You want to land up on the ridge. So, you know, that's a hole where some of those power hitters, guys like Isaac, you know, they're going to want a 3-wood right there. You don't need your driver. You don't need to play around with rolling down that hill, getting into trouble. But, man, this is World of Outlaws weekend. You ever want to see guys like Tyler Courtney on the golf course? Well, schedule a tee time at the Bridges Golf Course here in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania. A lot of those guys try to maybe get around in the morning of. It's so close. You can see literally, I think Lincoln has a fence. But, I mean, you could get on the golf course and sneak probably and watch the race there from the trees if you really wanted to. Absolutely beautiful, man. The Pigeon Hills, Pennsylvania. It's Mike Brewer, man. Listen to that thing loud and proud right now. 390 of Mike Brewer looking pretty good. I have to. I think I maybe realized what I did I want to blame everybody, you know, for my problems all the time. And in reality, I think it's because I've been driving more lately that I wanted the car sounds louder. Hey, that's a little better. I think I'm getting closer to my number there. That's one thing iRacing, you know I'm not big time. You're not watching ShaggyTV just yet, but when you do and you come across the stream, you know, give us different settings profiles. You know, let me have a driver profile. And let me have a broadcast profile. That would be really cool. Mike Brewer at the top of the charts right now, and well, I have the points for this, but if I'm being honest with you, I didn't put them in a slideshow yet. So what we're going to do, we are going to change this, and the screen size might not be right originally, but I can drag it. Nope, got lucky. That's good. Right now, Caleb Schellenberger, top of the charts, 10-point lead over downtown Aaron Brown, who settles in P2, and real close behind him, their all-star champion, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy, sitting there in third, Sam Bachman fourth, and Tyler Bickford hanging out, rounding out the top five. So really, I mean, I think they do have a drop week, so they'll have to calculate that in. Here, but I mean, it's pretty close. Definitely one where, you know, you don't want to get caught out. Now, guys, maybe like Caleb Schellenberger, who I think he had mentioned probably not going to be here with it being Easter. And that means that's going to be his drop week. So he's going to have to rely on his finishes. That just puts the pressure on him rolling into next week. And we've got to do something here because I'm going to be using this camera a lot. And I didn't know what this did for a long time, and now I'll show you what it did there. See how the wires were solid? Somebody taught me that. Another broadcasting friend not too long ago, so I always turn them down now for a little bit of the realism. You know, you're always going to have the wires and fence and stuff like that. Tyler Knopf in the 41 rolling the bottom. I think we're going to see a lot of the bottom, especially in 1 and 2. You know, this is something where, you know, guys like Dino, they know the name, but you know, I was here the first night whenever we got this in Coast to Coast, and I was beating guys like Dandy and Spangler. And I mean, did it take them only 5 to 10 laps behind me to figure out what I was doing to then beat me? Of course, but it did feel pretty good. You know, some hometown knowledge here. If you are, I like to park myself right inside the pits, or I mean, well, this is the pits apparently on iRacing, not in real life. You could see there from that camera that I was in earlier. So actually, this is a good camera for this. I'll bring up the mouse. So right here, this is not the pits at all. This is the pits where the trailers are back here. They have the way. Well, the way right here by the porta potty. I believe it's further down here. Or no, that is the shed. So that would be where they weigh the sprints and stuff after. Make sure they make weight. But in here is Bricker's Fry Stand. Oh, yeah. Good fries. Good chicken tenders. I'm hanging out right here, man. Right by this telephone pole. So if you're ever watching Flow and you see a race and you see a big guy on a racing shirt right down in there, that's me, probably. Like chilling down. And the moral of that story is, see a lot of guys, man, that left rear brake rotor just glowing here, no matter what cars they're in. You really want to drag that brake heavy once you get about that starter stand and set yourself up good for the entry of turn 1, and then you got a lot of speed coming out of 2. You can make up a lot of time on guys here doing that. So if, you know, maybe you got that little bit of knowledge, you've run a lot of laps here, that's a way to kind of kind of sneak one by a guy. So we're watching Tyler Bickford right now roll around as he's the first guy on the racetrack. A couple guys out here at the same time. But he got to the line first. Let's see what the 07 does. Bicky rolling that outside through one. Going to dime in through two. Roll off the bottom. So far purple, but that just got taken away. Not sure who took it. We'll have to see. Bickford comes across the line. Going to be P1 by default here. And now the time's ticking. 100 grand with a 15.79. Kicks it off here. He's quick time. Let's go see what Grandy can do second time around as he rolls 3 and 4 for the final time. Not going to improve, slower through 1 and 2 with a 5.18. Going to stay with that 15.79. Let's see what Putt does here. Doing exactly that, putting his way around. Blistering pace for Clay Christopherson. What kind of time? We're thinking 30.43. Oh, somebody get him a glass of water. The 51 on fire around here in Abbottstown. Good thing, you know, up there. Oh! Dalton, little brother here. Quick time, 15.72 in the 82. What I was going to say is, you know, right now, if Dalton would have kept driving straight, went right through the fence, got on that road that you saw that house right there by, you make a left, you drive out towards Route 30, and right there, you got a fire. Actually, it's the only place I've ever seen in my life. You know, you guys maybe have one in every area, but they literally sell equipment for fire departments. Okay, so like, you know, they sell the fireman suit, all that crazy stuff. I had to go in there one time just to see what was going on. I thought it was, you know, like a drug front. I'm like, who buys stuff from here? But apparently they've been in business, man, since before I was a little kid. So they're still hanging out. Not sure what it's called. Right now we're watching Aaron Rockefeller here. What can he do? Oh, almost gets into the inside wall there through 3 and 4. And Rocky going to get to the line here. Not going to be what he wanted. But he's going to stick with it here. No choice. Oh, so we got Dalton. He's going to go experiment. Yeah, that's the real pits, dude. Thank you for showing everyone that. I don't know why they put that there. You can see that bleacher there, too. I never understood. You know, I'm guessing that's where if you're that guy who kind of gets screwed into, you know, my tire went down, I need that guy to change it who gets none of the prize money. I'm assuming, you know, they're the ones hanging out up there watching everything, but you can't really see nothing. It gets so dusty coming out of 2. Give good seats. Let's take a look here. Starting grid, heat race number 1, 7 drivers rounding out the field. The 018 of Aaron Rockefeller, row 3 to the outside, the 88 of William Watson to the inside, the 39 of Mike Brewer. Row 2 to the outside, the 144 of Jordan LaFawn to the inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Row 1 for heat race number 1. Winner starts on the pole to the outside, the 07 of Bicky. Tyler Bickford into the inside, the 82 of Dalton DeWert. Have to see what Dalton can do here. Going to start on the pole. Take a look at that pace truck. Who are we waiting on here? We're waiting on Aaron. See if Rockefeller gets out here for heat race number 1, or Rocky going to hang out in the pits. Or maybe hang out with the Wang out there off of turn 4. Nope, he's there. And I'm telling you, there's, you know, no other experience. I mean, if you're a dude, you got to be able to perform when you go into the trough off of turn 4. You know, you expect maybe a private bathroom. No, man, this is taking you back. This is how we do things in Pennsylvania. You got to be ready for it. And when you step foot in the shed, you got to be ready. The 82 looking to take the green flag. Not going to be this time. roll around here a little bit. Let these guys get some heat in these big blocks. I assume most of them are in a big block here. Pace truck drives by. Roll through 1 and 2. We're going to zoom out here. You can see that pace truck dive off. And now the 82 of Dalton DeWord. He's got to set the pace here. And he decides when we drop the hammer. As we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Let's go play in the clay at the Lincoln Speedway. Good jump there for the 82 as Dino taking advantage of that inside starting spot as well. Third to second right away. Contact behind. That's going to be Mike Brewer getting bounced down to the inside of the 39. And Mike Brewer, not the way he wanted it to start here in Abbottstown. But I'll tell you what, Mike. You head down the road to the sub stop. Dinner's on me, brother. Not the way we wanted this thing to go. Jordan LaFawn, he bounces around through 1 and 2. Now he's in the doghouse as he's in the back. And Dalton DeWord just mowing him down here. Wanting the lap to come to a close. 5 to go this time by as we roll 3 and 4. Dalton looking good out front. Go find Dino. What's going on with that 79? He's got some dogs behind him. Bicky, he's in that point battle. The 07 of Tyler Bickford knows. Coming to the Lincoln Speedway, you know, it's not so easy to pass. Got to try to do some of that work here in the heat race, and the 07 work in the bottom. And now he's going to open up that outside for the 88 of William Watson, and William trying to get in the tire tracks of his teammate there in the 79, trying to get some pull. But Bicky looking good on the bottom through 3 and 4. It's through 1 and 2 where he's struggling a little bit right now. And I'm not sure if I said it over the broadcast, but truthfully to myself, I think the opposite. I thought we'd get some bottom 1 and 2, maybe not so much in 3 and 4. But hey, look at it. Bicky, well, there he gets in the inside wall. That's going to hurt the cause. He's going to lose that spot to Dino. Now he's going to lose another one here to the 88. Got to get it back here through 3 and 4 as Dalton comes across the stripe. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. The 82 is just went to work. Got quick time. Almost 2 seconds up the road here in 8 laps. Final time by for the 82 of Dalton DeWord. And he brings home the checkered flag, followed by Dino, William Watson, Bickford, Brewer, Rocky, and LaFawn. We'll get ready to take a look here. Starting grid heat race number 2. Well, I think we're going to get the starting grid here. Heat race number 2. There it is. Rounding out the field with his blistering lap time of a 30.4, I believe. The 051 of Putt Putt Clay Christopherson, row 3 to the outside. The 028 of Jeff Sharp to the inside. The 41 of the Dirt Dog, Tyler Knopf. Row 2 to the outside. The 28 of Brandon Combs to the inside. The 78 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. Row 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. And starting on the pole, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. Should be our final heat race here of the night, I believe. Try to find SDK and refresh that for you guys. And there we go. All right. 8 laps separate us between well, our feature here. As I'm going to be honest with you, my SDK is not working. I have a big black screen over my iRacing, so we are going to hurry up here and close that. I don't have it, so what? You guys have it because the green flag waves were underway. Heat race 2, 8th to play. We jumped there for the 518 of 100 grand. Joseph Grandy, who knows he's got a chance here. Maybe come back, win a double here. Can he win 2 sets of points here with the Full Throttle Motorsports? Winning heat race number 2 and starting P2 is a good start here with 2 weeks left. But he's got a lot of guys behind him. That 75 of the Philly Flyer trying to hunt the bottom through 1 and 2. He's got his teammate in front of him at the 639. He's got the Cobb behind him. Brandon Combs with a little contact there behind the Dirt Dog. Tyler Knopf hard into the wall through 4. Jeff Sharp into the pits. Tyler Knopf able to continue for now, but man, that was a big hit there for the 41. Not going to be easy to just shrug that one off here. Dylan Kinsey, though, reeling in the 518. He's getting a little closer, lap by lap, to the 518 of Grandy. Dylan entered in about half a car length lower and just using that hill to his advantage. You know, you can see that bump. You can't feel it. You're not on the steering wheel yourself, but the racing, you can almost feel it. He is better in 1 and 2, but you can see he's just overdriving 3 and 4, working a little too high and giving up a lot of that time that he's gained. As Trevor Giroux not really able to maintain the pace here with the front 2 as Dylan Kinsey tries to find a way around. He's only got 2 laps to go here at the Lincoln Speedway. White flag in the air one more time around. Dylan Kinsey, as close as he's been here since the start of the race. What do we see? Final time down the backstretch. Not going to be close enough for that move. His final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag wave and 100 grand. Wins heat race number 2, followed by Dylan Kinsey, Trevor Giroux, Brandon Combs, Tyler Knopf, Clay Christopherson, and Jeff Sharp. Well, I'm going to mute myself, but we're going to hang out here at the racetrack, and we've got 50 laps coming up here at the Lincoln Speedway. Lights go on. Oh, my gosh, the Pigeon Hills, man. You go up above. If you could go. No, got to go back. Put my camera from me. Hang on. So if you see obviously where the press box is, right where the drivers are pulling out, right up at the top there, the starter stand. If you could go directly up that hill, which you can, there's a road up there. Oh, the view you get of the city of Hanover when you're at the top of that hill is pretty unbelievable. Hanover, where the Shark Racing team is located. Logan Schuhart and what used to be Jacob Allen now is, oh man, I wish I could think of the kid's name. He actually had a pretty rough wreck a couple nights ago at Williams Grove. Danny Dietrich pulled him out when it was on Cale Thomas. That's his name. Danny Dietrich ran to him on the backstretch and pulled him out. It was a pretty cool sight to see. So if you aren't a Danny Dietrich fan, you better be now after what you just saw there. That was pretty cool the other night. But now I'm going to mute myself. Like I said, I was going to rest this beautiful voice, and we'll be back here in a couple minutes, and we'll be ready for some racing here with your expert installation. Swan Speed Shop. Pro. I almost said Pro late models. Big block, small block modifieds. Alrighty, they're going to let the track breathe here. As you see, it's quiet. That final minute, nobody going to touch it here. But we'll have 15 drivers set to take the green flag, or excuse me, 14. I don't think Anthony Morano will be running in the feature. But maybe. Who knows? But not a lot of guys here this evening. But I'll tell you what, packed parking lot too. Oh, another bit of insider information. I'm telling you, probably shouldn't even say this because Lincoln probably hates me for it. There's like a tree right here, and nobody's ever willing to park on the hill right next to the road. I pull sideways about 2 feet off the road, and immediately while everyone's waiting in line here to get out onto a road, you can't see the road, but there's a road right here. I pull right out, you know what I mean? Just zoom. Just get right on out of there. That's what you get a vehicle with all-wheel drive for, you know? A little hilly right there. Some people aren't willing to risk it for the biscuit. Sometimes that's what you got to do. And now we'll see who's willing to risk it tonight. Here at the Lincoln Speedway, let's take a look at the starting lineup. Row 7 to the outside, the 028 of Jeff Sharp. To the inside, the 144 of Jordan LaFawn. Row 6 to the top shelf, the 51 of Putt Putt Clay Christopherson. To the inside, the 018 of Aaron Rockefeller. Row 5 to the outside, the Dirt Dog. In the 41, Tyler Knopf. To the inside, in the 39, Mike Brewer. Row 4 to the top shelf, the Cobb. In the 28, Brandon Combs. To the inside, the 07 of Bicky, Tyler Bickford. Row 3 to the outside, the 75, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. To the inside, the 88 of William Watson. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. To the inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Row number 1 for your 50-lap big block, small block modified feature at the Lincoln Speedway, presented to you by Expert Insulation and Swan Speed Shop. To the outside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. And starting on the pole, the 82 of Dalton DeWert. Let's see what we can do here, man. 50 laps, long time to play in the clay here. That is a long time. This racetrack not used to that kind of abuse, man. You know, it fucking every now and then we'll do some type of 40-lap event here. But oh boy, we gotta see if the dirt's up to it tonight. As the 82 of Dalton DeWert thinks about it, when is he going to go? When is he going to drop the hammer? As we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time, we've got 50 laps to play in the clay at Lincoln Speedway. Your feature's underway. Good jump there for the 82 of Dalton, trying to swing it in there. He's got it coming out of 2. He can go wherever he wants. The battle in behind here. Trevor Giroux's got a good view. Bicky working to the inside of Trevor's teammate there in the 639, Dylan Kinsey. Dylan trying to roll that momentum as we're battling all over the racetrack. Mike Brewer trying to work it up. Jordan LaFawn tightens up in the middle of 1 and 2. He gets sandwiched in the middle now. Nowhere to go for the 144. Oh, he's getting back on that loud pedal there. The 88 gotta let off a little bit as the 144 drives it in, able to get the 1 back for now. Putt Putt still putting up a fight, but the 144 looking good, clawing his way back as Bicky gets into the inside wall through 3 and 4. Bickford now opens the door for the Philly Flyer, the 75 trying to move and groove through 1 and 2. Just can't do it. Gonna lose that momentum in the battle, heating up for the lead. 100 grand. Knows this may be his chance here to come out of Abbottstown a point leader. Can he apply the pressure to the 82 of Dalton DeWert? Not going to be easy. Dalton won't make it easy. I'm telling you. And right now, Dino, he knows he's got to get going because the 639 all over his rear end. He's starting to feel some pressure from his teammate. As you look now, Dylan actually taking a peek on the inside. And Kinsey, what can he do here? He's still there. Not by much. He might have to give up on this one depending on what kind of run he can get here. But he's still there, putting up a good fight in that 639 is Dylan Kinsey, but Dean Reynolds storming off of two. And he takes it back, Dean Reynolds. But then he overdrives 3. Catches it in the middle of 4, though, and gets some speed back. But Dean Reynolds, man, that is not how he wants to be running 3 and 4 when he knows he's got to make up some time. Brandon Combs gets into the wall there in the 28, trying to work to the outside of the 07 of Bickford. Tyler Bickford got that thing firmly planted. Looking good in the 07. And Combs, let's see here. Let's ride on board with him for a lap. Oh, as he gets in the wall, Brandon Combs avoids the disaster as Joseph Grandy, new leader, Joseph Grandy gets the pass done. We got to rewind to look at this one. So, yeah, that's what I thought. Dalton gets in the wall there in 1 and 2 at the same time. Is basically the Cobb did, and Grandy fights to the inside here. Dalton not going to, he saw the writing was on the wall. You don't want to lose more than one, and somehow we got into a scenic camera. We're going to get back to the normal cameras, but what did I do with that guy just hanging out watching the race? This is Dino now. He's all over the back of the 82 there. That may have been a harder hit than Dalton would like to admit, and it may have affected the handling of the race car a little bit, or, it's just taken him a little bit to get his bearings back underneath him and really start feeling comfortable in that 82. But there's contact behind. Brandon Combs gets into the side of Bickford, I believe. He's going to lose a couple of spots there. A couple, 3, 4. For the driver of the 28, Brandon Combs, who has had a tough night here. You see Ron out there with us tonight. Let's find Brewer. Mike working it right now. P7. He's stuck behind his teammate in the 75, but really hit his teammate in this field. Got to get the elbows out. You got to claim what's yours. And Mike Brewer seeing that behind him at the mirror. Rocky trying to do that. Rockefeller rip in the outside, but he's got 2 guys behind him, LaFawn and Combs working side by side. Now Rocky gonna send it in here. Looking to the inside of Brewer. Man, close at the line. Dalton gets in the wall through 1 and 2. He's gonna lose that spot to Dino. Dino up to P2 in the 79. And as we cross the line, yellow flag wave at the Lincoln Speedway. Aaron Rockefeller coming to a stop through 3 and 4. Let's see what happened here to the driver of the 018. So this is in 1 and 2. We're going to go to a different view. Rocky was a little sideways through 1 and 2. Just gets in the wall there and the inside, and you got to stop there. What are you supposed to do? Back up in front of your teammate and those guys coming, and did exactly what he needs to do. Not what he wanted to have happen for sure, but it gives us a reset here. And it gives guys like Dalton DeWert that second chance because he was just about to lose P2 when they were coming to the line, but the caution flew right before they took the next lap. So it goes back to the previous there and able to hold on as the lights do go off on the pace truck, and we're going to get ready to go back and play. 21 laps to go when we do take the green flag here at Lincoln. Roll down that backstretch for the final time, and Joseph Grandy's going to take that blue hot rod and drop the hammer on the exit of 4. Anytime past the chalk line, he drops the hammer. We're underway. Good jump there for the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Now Dean Reynolds, he's got to go back and work on his teammate. He has gotten the match done once. Can he do it again here? The 79 of Dean Reynolds. Stuck on the outside, 3 wide. Vicky to the inside. Kinsey, the meat and the sandwich. Dylan trying to work it here. Can't get the run off the corner. He's still going to hold on to his spot, but going to lose that progress he had on Dino. And now Vicky, he's all for naught here. He's got to get back in line. He's going to try to move up top, maybe think about getting a run on the outside of the 639. Trevor Giroux, he's got that thing screaming up top. Dino jumped over the cookies there, slipped up, and Dino loses P3. Oh, not what Dino wanted to have happen there. Now he's back to 5th as he clips the wall going down the backstretch. Dean Reynolds, when it rains, it pours for that 79. Gonna lose 2 here on lap 22 as we're on to lap 23. Dalton to work. Got some momentum back going in that 82, and he's been able to reel in the 518, and we're going to have a battle for the lead here before too long. One slip up from the 518, and Joseph Grandy's going to be falling back to P2. He's got to be smooth, got to hit his marks here. Battle's starting to heat up. Out of 4. Vicky making a move here for that final podium spot, trying to continue that battle with Dylan Kinsey. Dylan doing a good job. Not really rolling that to the outside. Rolling the middle there, not giving Vicky a lot of room on corner entry and really limiting his speed. But now Vicky's to the point where, oh man, maybe you wanted to send that thing upstairs and go for it, but he doesn't. Man, I really thought he was going to go for it there. Tyler Bickford didn't need to, just ends up completing it anyway. But man, that was a perfect slider dive moment. Not one to do this early on. Plenty of time to play. We're going to have 23 laps to go this time as Joseph Grandy climbs out of 4 and crosses the line. Let's watch them all come down the backstretch here. Let's watch them race into 3. See, they're a tight group. They're all on the backstretch pretty much at the same time. You can see that. I mean, let's sit here. You can watch. There goes Grandy across the starter stand. They're all there. I mean, if you make one mistake right now, we're seeing there through 1 and 2. Cars get sideways, go to the inside. But LaFawn able to catch it in that 144. No caution. Going to fall the whole way to the back, though. Man, you see, that's literally the perfect time. That's what I was talking about. One mistake, and you're going to lose, 4 or 5 spots. That's what we've been seeing. Dino, he got lucky when he only lost 2, and, I mean, they were spread out a little bit up front. You're that close here at Lincoln. You jump the cushion like the 82 just did, and you let the guys behind you tuck on that leash, man. It breathes a new life. And now Vicky all over the back of the 82 here. 19 laps to go. Go on the nose here of Tyler Bickford, who's got this pass done in the middle of the corner, but you see there the 82 fights back on that top shelf, but he's just clawing down here. Vicky trying to make that thing scream, just keep that left rear in the tack, and man, the 82 jumps the cushion one more time. There, he's gonna lose 1, possibly 2. If his teammate in the 639 can hook it up, and Dylan Kinsey, man, he's sure trying. Dylan working that bottom here, trying to make it move. He's just really limiting himself. Doesn't have that run that he'd like coming off the corner on the top shelf. And that's where, I mean, it can hurt you. And we're seeing it affect his speeds, and my apologies there about that quick screen lag. I was worried about the way my system is performing, and when I brought up my NVIDIA, apparently my performance reader, like that, it wants to make everything freeze. So Hopefully this shouldn't happen again, but I can see everything's running good. I'm only at 34% on the GPU. It's even better for Joseph Grandy. I mean, a second up the road here at Lincoln. That is a lifetime. We're going to go sit at the starter stand, wait for him to come on by. As you see Bicky there rolling the outside through 3 and 4. As Kinsey, he was lagging a little bit there, able to pop back in there. You're seeing that's Kinsey doing the disappearing act. Let's see, hopefully he can get that together. You don't want that happening a lot to you now because iRacing will give you the boot if you're blinking in and out too much, but everything looks good here for the 639. There's Brewer, he's got a pretty good view here, some side-by-side racing. Let's go ride with the man here. Let's ride on board with Mike. Oh, caution flag waves, caution flag waves. You can see it was heating up between Dino and Putt there. Let's go see. I believe I'm seeing the 88 of William Watson possibly involved in this one. We'll see what happens here. So gets a big run in, yeah, just gets into the side of his teammate there, Aaron Rockefeller, in the 18, and Rocky going to go around, no choice for the 18, and William Watson hard around after the contact, and well, gives them some time here to recoup their thoughts, and well, when we do go back racing, we're going to have a 10-lap shootout here at the Lincoln Speedway, so if you've got anything left in the deck, it's time to play it here now. So I believe the lights are still on the pace truck. They are. So not going to go green this time by. Got another lap or two to roll around here. And oh, it's a nice round. Have packed house. Got everybody rooting for Mike here tonight. Hopefully Mike can get that 39 up into the top 5. Is Brewer one of those guys? Now I think he's missed some races. Let's pull this back up here. Yeah, Brewer not in a points battle for these. I was going to say, I don't think he's made every single one of these, but whenever they factor in the drop loop, he might be in the mix because he's had some pretty good runs when he has been here, but pace truck off, the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. We're back underway at the Lincoln Speedway. We've got 10 to play. We're going to bring it home here in Abbottstown. Grandy right away on the top shelf. Ripping it, battle on for P2. Bicky on the outside, Kinsey on the inside. Here's the Cobb in the 28 where did Combs come from? He had made a mistake earlier falling onto the back, and oh man, trying to rise again here on Easter. Can the Cobb work it on up? Brewer still committed to that inside. Possibly not where the driver of the 39 wants to be, but it's where he's got to be. It's the only place he's got room right now. He's lost the spot since this restart. As him and Jeff Sharp, well, now he got it back at the line. They keep going back and forth. Him and the driver of the 028. As we come across 6 laps to go, Joseph Grandy in firm control, but the battle still on for the final 2 podium spots. Brandon Cohn, fueled by Busch Light, trying to power down the backstretch here in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania. He's got it on the entry of 3. What can he do at the line? Give it to the Cobb. Brandon Combs to P3 here with 5 to play. Does he have enough time to go to work on the 07 of Tyler Bickford here? He is driving it in deep. He has got that thing rolling, but he just doesn't have time. 4 to go. Dean Reynolds feeling it there from his teammate, the 39, as he gets in the outside wall. Almost up and over. Caution flag flies. at the Lincoln Speedway. We saw it live, feeling the pressure from his teammate there in the 39. Too much. Dino jumps the cushion, climbs the wall, and we are under caution for the third time here at the Lincoln Speedway. Is Joseph Grandy wondering how much sand is in this hourglass. He is ready to call this thing quits, man. But we are going to have a 3-lap shootout when we go back. And let's see here. Hey, Mike, I know I don't do this on dirt, man, but apparently you got a full house out there watching you. All the family's watching you right now, man. You got anything to say?
Oh, man, I don't know if I'd quit overdriving this thing and keep it off the inside wall. I'm surprised my left front's still even on this thing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it seems like there is room down there, but, dude, so limited. You really need to float up and carry that speed.
Tell you what, if I could keep it consistent down there, I feel like I could at least get a podium out of this, but it's hooked up down there. I just got to keep it off the wall.
All right, man, 3 to go. Hey, I'll send you back. We're rooting for you, Mike. Go get him.
All right, thank you.
And had to give the brew crew their fix out there, you know, their daily dose of the 39. We're going back green this time. Joseph Grandy will control the start. Tyler Bickford, can he make a run here? Or is he just trying to play some defense? As we're back underway at the Lincoln Speedway. Good jump from the Cobb on the outside. Dylan Kinsey taking advantage of a good restart on the inside. He's back to P3 for the moment. And now Mike Brewer, he sees the side-by-side in front. And oh man, he's happier than a pig in you know what. He might be able to get a shot here for this podium if they keep battling, but 2 to go. Clay Christopherson trying to creep in the middle, all this behind the man out front, Joseph Grandy, who comes to the stripe. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go at the Lincoln Speedway. Joseph Grandy, final time down the backstretch. He has looked good all night, and the dominance continues here for the 518. Congratulations. Takes the checker flag at Lincoln. Bicky P2 and Dylan Kinsey. Man, he holds off the Cobb for the final podium spot. And Mike Brewer with a top 5. But do you see how close he was to that final podium spot? Let's go back. Let's watch that battle for P3 here on the white flag lap. We're going to go watch it from here. So we're watching Dylan here. Actually, maybe not the best view. You can see. So Dylan, he got it pretty well. Not as close as the timing indicated, but that battle for 4th. Man, oh man. Brewer almost edges out the Cobb, but Brandon Combs just able to get him. Great finish here at the Lincoln Speedway. This track is put on some phenomenal racing. You just got to be patient. You got to be willing to, well, you know, what do they say? Patiently aggressive, right? You've got to take your moments when you've got them, and that's what they did tonight. Joseph Grandy started second, able to bring it home. Not the night Dalton DeWirt would have won it after starting P2, after starting first. But I mean, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And Dalton with a pretty good season so far. I think he'll be able to shake this one off. But let's go ahead. Let's bring up your P3 finisher here. Dylan Kinsey. Oh, there we go. Okay. That took a while for you to pop up, man. My computer's acting up. What's going on, Dylan? How you doing, man? That was a pretty good P3 run there. You and Dino were having it out. It seemed like you absolutely nailed that final restart, though. That may have been the difference.
Yeah, Copper's car just didn't want to take off, and the restart before the last one, I figured out kind of just like maybe you jump on the throttle and then like I'd back off to like quarter and just hit that bottom out of 4, and it kind of gave me a good launch out. So I used it again, and Copper's car just didn't want to go. So me and him were going back and forth. I wasn't sure if I, passed him before the line or not. I didn't think I did. So, but no, it was pretty good. I had pretty good heated battles all race long. I wasn't able to rest much at all during that feature.
No, I mean, I really do like this place. I know it's intricate, and it's a hometowner for me, so obviously that adds to it a little bit. But I think it's one of those tracks, Dylan, where kind of can get you by surprise. Sometimes you can roll that bottom, you get it working better in 1 and 2. But it seemed like tonight, man, if you guys could hit it, you wanted to be on the bottom in 3 and 4. I mean, guys like you were looking good. It's 1 and 2 where it seemed like, man, you had to be perfect if you wanted to make the bottom work. Was I right?
Yeah, you had to be perfect. Like for my car, if I got off the bars and trying to hit the bottom off of 2, it did not. It would slam back on the bars, and it just wasn't good. And then all of a sudden the bumps are coming on the backstretch, so it just upset the car the whole time. And 3 and 4 was way easier for me to hit the bottom. I could stay on the bars a little bit, so it wasn't slamming on them coming off of 4. But yeah, I mean, here in Weedsport, I love the bottom once it comes in. I can run them really good. Not a lot of people know that I prefer the bottom. I'm like Anthony. I like the bottom. I don't like the top. So when it's there, I go the bottom, and I'm usually one of the first few. Besides Clay, he's always on the bottom, but one of the first few to, see if it's working.
Well, man, I mean, you made it work tonight. It wasn't the best starting spot for you. So let's do. Or no, actually, you started 4th. I'm lying. You didn't start terribly, but still, man, to be able to work your way up and hang out there after lots of battles, lots of slide jobs, that was a hell of a run for you, man. Congratulations. Good P3. Who you want to thank, Dylan?
Yeah, it was definitely, intense feature for me, up there with a bunch of fast guys. But I just got to thank all the guys at FTM. Gunnar at Spawn Speed Shop, Dean Reynolds at Super Dirt Car, DJ for the rap, you for the broadcast, Shaggy for coming in here and covering this. Everyone that, got on board, Scott for getting this league together and everything, Anthony, doing his little admin thing, everyone that makes it happen. It's been a good league. I love this league. I got started in this FTM league before I even got on the team, and, it's been good every time. So, I just got to thank everyone that makes it happen.
Well, hey, man, hell of a run. I'm not going to say the final part, but congratulations on a good P3 here, Sugar.
Yeah, thanks. My anger got the best of me last week, so you won't see me much this week, but I'll be back the following.
Hey, I've been in the box before. We've all served our time. I'll see you when you get out.
Hey,
good run, Dylan.
Thanks. I take it on the chin. I'll be good.
Yeah, man. Dude, you know as well as I do, too. I mean, this is way off topic. We won't mention what that is. But, dude, sometimes when a guy's doing you a certain way, dude, you've got to go out there and, be the dog. You got to piss on him sometimes and be like, hey, you're not going to treat me like this. Sometimes that's what you got to do. I think you did what you needed to do. So we'll see you when you get back out there.
I appreciate it, Shaggy.
Good run, Dylan. Dylan Kinsey bringing home P3, and now we're gonna bring home Oh man, I can't even get my words out, and I'm pulling them up while he's talking. Sorry, Bicky, but hell of a run, man. That was, dude. You had your hands full. You were working the bottom, the top. It seemed like you'd go wherever you needed to. What did you like tonight, though, in the 07? Where was the preferred line? If you had your choice.
Right there. Right across the middle. I felt really good when I could hit it right. The bottom felt okay sometimes, and the top felt okay sometimes, but the bottom was the smoothest one for me if I could hit it right.
What do you think? I mean, obviously, one of those coulda, woulda, shoulda deals. Not a lot of time on that final restart, but once you were able to get up there into P2, kind of develop your own line, not have a lot of pressure from behind you, you looked pretty quick. Do you think you could have went up there and played with Joe if you would have had a little more time?
Maybe if we stayed green. He was really consistent up there. He had a good pace. It was hard to catch him, so can't really say. I'm happy with the second regardless.
Yeah, man, especially because you're one of the guys, I mentioned at the beginning, man, you're right there in this points hunt, and You know, I know the guys who missed today, they'll have to use it as a drop week, but you're one of the guys, man, you've showed up, so you're going to pretty much get your choice of that drop week. And with 1 week left, man, I believe double points next week as we roll into championship night. You got any dreams, man? You think we can take this title away from the FTM guys? Because, man, you're right there, dude. You've been there all season.
I didn't even know I was up there in points, to be honest with you. I wasn't even worried about it.
Yeah, let's cheat. Let's look at it here, what it was before. So obviously Schellenberger not here, but yeah, you're at 934. He only had you by 40 points. So, so I mean, dude, you're right there. You're there in 5th place. There are a lot of you that are right there. So that's something, man. Next week, I know I don't want to obviously put the pressure on you, man, but a good run, dude, and you could seriously, man, you could snipe this thing away. Do you think you got a shot? I mean, what do we like Oswego? What are the plans rolling into next week?
I ran Oswego one time, and the entire time I was blinking, so I have no idea what's going to go down. I'm just going to hope and pray for the best.
Well, hey, man, I'll be right there hoping with you. The tighter this points battle, the more exciting it is for me. And, Bicky, you've looked good every time you've been able to keep this thing in one piece. Another good podium. Congratulations, man. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, thank you for the broadcast. Gotta thank FTM for putting it on. Coast to Coast Sim Sports, Majula Say, and anybody else. I know who they are.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Bicky. Congratulations, man. Hopefully I'm talking to you next week, brother. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Now we'll bring up the man who's inching himself that much closer to possibly another title here, Grandy. Obviously, you know, we'll have a drop week in this, I think. I don't know if we get to. So I'll have to, you know, knit it up a little bit here, make it clean. But, man, a big win when you were only, I want to say, let's pull it up again. I should have looked before I pulled you up. You were only 12 points out of the lead, you know, and Shelly didn't show up tonight. Aaron didn't show up. I mean, how are we feeling rolling into Oswego next week? Pressure's going to be on the 518, man. You could pull a double here for the FTM points this season.
Yeah, I don't know where I stand as of right now, but Oswego, it all depends on where I qualify and where I start in the race. Usually, you know, there you want to be in the front.
Yeah, and, you know, that being said, I know a lot of leagues, man, that we've seen kind of do that invert, but this not being one of them. Do you feel confident you can go in there and put a quick lap down and maybe put yourself in that, you know, top 2 rows there in a heat?
Yeah, I think it shows pretty clear that the invert makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not my best track, but I'll have to maybe do a few practice laps. I haven't ran a big block there probably in months.
Well, I mean, you know, we won't get too far ahead of ourselves, but tonight, man, you definitely seemed like Oswego maybe got the best of you there in the limiteds early on. You kind of fought that damaged race car, but still brought home a 4th. But, man, we roll back into PA, dude, and this was your show. It seemed like every time a caution would come out, you had a full second lead. How were you feeling so comfortable up top, man? Because I kept watching person after person, especially through 1 and 2, jump that cushion, man, but you look so smooth.
The setup felt right. You know, Lincoln's one of my, I don't race it all up, but it's one of my favorite tracks and one of the few tracks where I can rip the outside fairly confidently. So, yeah, that's really about it.
Was there any, you know, worry maybe on a late restart that a guy could get a jump on you in the inside, or were you just so focused you knew you had the car and you just needed to hit your marks there on a restart?
Yeah, I think I hit the start so good. I had such a big jump each time that I wasn't really too worried.
Yeah, man, that's what I was seeing. You were driving into one, it seemed like, with a 4 or 5 car length lead every time. You're absolutely nailing that. But that's part of the deal, man. And you're up front a lot. You get that practice, and you were perfect tonight, man. Congratulations. Good run here at Lincoln. 50 laps, hard fought. Who you want to thank, brother, on the win?
All the guys at Coast to Coast Sim Sports. Congrats on Tyler on the second. The USA Speeds Shop, Catalytic Recovery. All the guys at FTM for putting us on again, and you, man, for doing the broadcast, and of course, my girlfriend Olivia.
Hey, hell of a run, man. Championship week next week. Give him hell, Grandy. Good luck.
I'll try. Thanks.
Joseph Grandy bringing home the win here at Lincoln, and he's got all the momentum when we roll back into New York next week for the season finale. at the Oswego Speedway. Make sure you tune in here live on Shaggy TV. We are going to pull up their schedule just to make sure, because I don't want to lie to you. Yes, 100 laps, 5 p.m. start. I'm not sure if that's going to be when qualifying starts or if that will be when the practice room opens up. But either way, I'm going to be here. So maybe check in 4:30 that day. I'll already have it programmed if they're opening up the room at 4:30. But whenever I have the broadcast program to start, that will be when the room opens up, and we will be here bringing you every second of the action here from Oswego. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV, thanking you for tuning in and hanging out with us this long here for your Full Throttle Motorsports Sunday Night Madness. Like I say, you hit that subscribe button. Don't you miss next week. Next week, 100 laps decides the championship. Get your butt back here. We're at Oswego, baby.